Hello to my Cappies, my Capricorns. Let's get right into it. Let's see what's in your cards. Let's see what this week looks like for you, Capricorns. We are getting closer and closer to this full moon in Leo that we're going to have. We're not talking about any Leos that you know. If you've been tuned into my channel for a while, thank you for coming back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Let's get right into it. But yeah, so when the moon moves through these zodiac signs, there is there's always a theme for that. So when it moves through Leo, like it moved through Cancer in the last full moon that we had, that was you may have felt very creative around that time. You felt like, okay, you want to nurture something that you want to create, so that would have pushed you back almost, if you had opportunity to be pushed back into your hermit mode, right, so that you can create. We had a full wolf moon in Cancer. Cancer is already ruled by the moon, right? So Cancer and Leos are the only two signs that are not ruled by planets. So Cancer already being ruled by the moon, but then the moon, a full moon being in Cancer is like, excuse me, your creative gifts being fully illuminated. So it's almost like somebody had, like, if you had an opportunity to be in hermit mode, your energy level in terms of creating, your creative juices were really flowing, especially if you felt like you were in a space where you felt like it was safe, protected, you weren't being, distracted. You felt, you could feel it, like you could literally feel like, okay, you got all these creative ideas, you had time to write it down, process your thoughts, put some structure and order to it. That's Saturn, right? Your ruling planet Saturn. But you deserve the best. You deserve the best in every area of your lives. You deserve the best. And so that includes, that's in everything. You just deserve the best. Once you start thinking that way, you deserve the best. And that covers literally every area of your life. You deserve the best. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Let's get into it. Talking to you, wherever Capricorn is in your birth chart, even if you're on the cusp of Aquarius or on the cusp of Sagittarius. And check your houses. Check your houses. Right? You have 12 of them. Check your houses. Right? 10th house is the house of achievement, career, reputation. You deserve the best. So when you're talking about this double creativity in that last full moon, when that moon was in Cancer, you deserve to be in spaces where you can, when you get these downloads, and they're coming fast. Let me help somebody understand what the moon symbolizes metaphysically. So it's personal intelligence, the intellect. Its light is supplied by the sun. So symbol and spiritual intelligence. And so this in the moon, it's spiritual intelligence, and so you're going to get these regular periods of flooding the consciousness. And so there is, a definite relation between the body consciousness and the moon. So your body feels like your spirit is being fed when you get an opportunity to process your emotions and what you want to create. You feel a sense of accomplishment and pride. Like, think about it. Like, if you said that, okay, you're going to mark something down on your calendar and say, okay, on this date I'm going to create something, and you are allowed the time and space to create in hermit mode, the way that you all process and receive things, and you were able to do it in a time where you feel like you were able to give your absolute best, right? In a very structured way. That is Saturn, right? Saturn is the planet of maturity and authority, where people respected your maturity and your authority. Guess what? They're going to get the best. They're going to get the best out of you because you all are very hardworking zodiac signs. So, yeah. 740, new connection. So keep in mind, keep an open mind. So people are showing up in your life who reflect the goals you've been putting forth into the universe. Meet them, open yourself up to what they have to teach you about life and yourself. Demonstrate that your heart and mind are open to new connections by following up with a new friend at some point today. 740. So Source is really trying to help somebody to really kind of open up to new connections, because again, you deserve the best. So if you're around other creatives, we're talking about you're finding out what your moon sign is. Those are the energies you want to align yourself with. People you feel like it's a safe space to just create. Talk without something being held against you, everything being recorded. all those things, you know, things that can be used against you later. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's get right into it. You deserve the best. Keep an open mind. Let's do it. Let's see what's in your cards. Let's see what's in your cards. Let's see what's in your cards. All right. Death, rebirth, right? So definitely going through a rebirth. Something has ended. Something has ended, right? And people were obsessed with slowing down your transformation. Something has ended. People were obsessed with it, you know. But you, like I said, you deserve the best, right? So, yeah. If you feel like you were baited into something and people switched up on you, like people were just obsessed with baiting you into things and then switching up, right? And so, and that's an obsession, like almost to keep you so distracted, literally distracted to death, distracted to ending what you're trying to create. Keep you so distracted that, you know, that you just, like, people were obsessed with that. Right? Arguing, all of this, baiting you into an argument, baiting you into doing something you didn't want to do, emotional manipulation. Somebody was with a very cold-hearted master manipulator, just kept baiting you into arguing. Every time you want to try to create something, arguing, baiting you to say, oh, what you doing? Then next thing you know, you don't know what took a left turn. So that could happen in your personal or your professional life, that something ended. Something ended, brought you to a new level of emotional maturity to not fall for the bait and switch anymore. But what goes around comes around. That's right. You're going to feel very fortunate that something has ended. So this is the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. The devil is in the details. The devil is in the details. Again, you deserve the best. The only thing that really opposes, the only spirit that opposes source, the creator, right, is the devil. That will be the only energy that is crazy enough to really try to, you know, see the devil, see source as competition. Everybody else don't have, you know, for the most part, you believe what you want to believe. But anybody who, you know, is running around baiting you into something and then, you know, switching up, just like, you know, keeping you distracted. Like I said, source is saying to you, yeah, you don't want to be chained to fear, doubt, uncertainty, those kind of things. The devil card symbolizes enslaved to obsessions, lust, restrictions. You don't want to feel restricted. You don't want to feel, when you're creating, you don't want to feel restricted. You don't want to feel restricted. You want time to just process whatever you're trying to create. That's why this is water, right? You don't want to feel, you know, but what goes around comes around. Right? You found your star. You found your star. Yep, you found your star. Yep, that's how you saved yourself. You found your star. There's hope, bliss, and optimism. Right? You've learned how to save yourself. Something seemed like it was saving you from something at first, but again, you were baited into something. What's the saying? Y'all drop a comment below. It's like jumping from the fire into the frying pan. Whatever, y'all know the saying I'm talking about, I was trying to say. But it's almost like that. Like you baited into something that you thought it was going to be one thing, but it would just end up being worse. Right? So something has brought you to a level of emotional maturity, and also carefully vetting your thoughts. Your words are creating your reality. So somebody is saying, you know, your words are creating your reality. Right? So that's why somebody is keeping their vibrations as high as possible. You're not making any negative comments about people. You're not judging. This card right here is ruled by judgment card. You're not saying that, oh, this person is the devil worshiper, whatever people are saying about whomever. You're not even, that's carnal mind. That's, get a metaphysical dictionary. It's going to start making more sense to you. But like I said before, source is saying to you, you don't need to save anybody when people are trying to bait you into a conversation and then turn around and make scathing remarks about people that you have an emotional connection with. You don't need to save anybody. You're not their savior at all. You're not their savior, right? So somebody sees somebody as competition. not your battle. They were determined to create the ending of something. Somebody was determined to create the ending of a relationship between you and somebody. You know, so, and using money or material possessions and using sex. Right? Like I said, the devil card symbolizes enslaved to obsessions, lust, and restrictions. So the end of all, that's the end of that is gone. It's only the other side. The other side of something. Somebody was just obsessed. They were obsessed. They wanted to end something that was, like Annette said, they were determined, right? So you had it. So something forced you to do shadow work, but you're not going back to something that just doesn't produce any results. Yeah, because it didn't produce any results for you. Right. All it did is cause you to be depressed. Yep. So you're glad that something is behind you. You're glad that something is now behind you, right? You're free. Free of these karmic relationships. Somebody had succumbed to passive and powerless behavior, and someone was egotistical, materialistic, and forceful. So you feel like you have a whole new lease on life. Ooh. And you're moving on from the disappointment, even talking about it. That's what you have in common with somebody. Somebody will move on from talking about the disappointment, right? Yeah, of people lying about them behind their back. That's how you get to your throne of just praying for people. If you know people are lying behind your back, they just telling all kinds of stories on you behind your back, you just pray for them and keep going. It's like, I ain't giving out any air, because that air will fuel that fire. Some people like being in survival mode. They like all of that shady behavior, fighting, arguing back and forth. That just, you know, you should hear how y'all hear how some people are. Oh, we had a big argument, and you know, right after that, we went out to eat. Who can even process that? What? You live for that kind of stuff? That is, I mean, so anyway, so Source is trying to help you to learn how to, when people are lying about people behind their back, Source is saying to you, that's when you can just give it no air, pull out a sword, and move on. You may be disappointed and deeply heartbroken, but move on. Yeah, move on. What I say, y'all see me shuffling the cards? Pull out the sword, because you're going back through your memory, and just like, okay, this isn't the first person. It's like every single thing that I love to do, people, places, and things where I'm trying to create something, some energies make it about them. They make it about them. They're creating some kind of conflict and confusion. Well, now you got to put everything on pause. You can't process it, right? So you make it just, like, in order for you to get some sleep and not have a nervous breakdown, you're pulling out the sword. Right? So you can leave the past behind. Let people believe what they want to believe. So death comes in many forms. It can be the ending of a job, ending of a friendship, whatever. You're content with letting people believe what they want to believe, right? But you're above the judgment now. You're above the judgment. So sometimes that looks like leaving a job behind, where you're just like, you know what? Okay, you're just tired of proving yourself. You've gone to the you know, people said, some people on your job may have said, oh, you don't come and sit around warm fireside chats anymore. You get up, you go to the warm fireside chat, still judged, talked about you behind your back. Oh, well, we all going to happy hour. You go to happy hour, still talked about behind your back. Sometimes it's not a perfect fit. Sometimes it's not a perfect fit. So somebody's learning how to not fall for the bait, be baited into something, and then switched up on, right? You're free. You're free. Free from the shade. Expansion ahead. Yep, so a message, it's coming to you that you're free. There's expansion that lies ahead for you. A lot of expansion. But like I said, you deserve the best. You're grateful that something is behind you. This is the number 3 again. You got the 3 of Wands. So that balances it out, fire and water. Something seemed like it was smoke and mirrors for somebody, because water is reflective and fire, obviously, we know smoke. Something seemed like it was smoke and mirrors, for you. But something was not what you thought it was going to be. Something was not what you thought it was going to be. Something was like an illusion. It was not what you thought it was going to be. And so, but on the other side of this, like I said before, it produced somebody who has emotional maturity. You know your worth. You know your value. You know, like I said, maybe disappointed in what was said, but yeah, you feeling like you have a whole new, like I said, lease on life. You know, now, right? Wish fulfilled. Yep, wish fulfilled. So let's see what else we got going on here. But that's what it takes for somebody. It's for somebody, like I said, if you feel left out in any environment, and you feel like all of this fire right here. We had, like I said, we had a full moon. We're going to have a full moon in Leo. Leo's a fire sign. We're not talking about any Leos that you know, but it's a fire sign that's ruled by the sun, just like Cancer is ruled by the moon. When you feel like you're somewhere where you are simply tolerated instead of appreciated, whether it is in your blood family, you know, people that you could be just now meeting in your family. Like a lot of people come from really big families and you just now meeting certain people in your family. You feel like you just simply tolerate, like people really don't want you there. And you feel like, okay, here I go again, feeling like, don't keep going. Don't keep going. That's going to make you feel worse and worse and worse. If you feel like you're in a job where you feel like, you know, you're just tolerated and people just don't want you there, it's time to look for something else. Because Source is actually protecting you from something. Source is protecting you from something. We hear it all the time. Human's rejection is God's protection from something. You're going to start to appreciate when people don't want you to be a part of something. They don't want you to see something. It's something that they don't want you to see. You know, and so versus someone who says, oh, come on in, you know, but hey, you can see for yourself. They may not have a whole lot, but you know, but you can see that they're about telling the truth, telling you the truth. So, but you also see the same people when people give you access to their lives, how people talk about them behind their backs. Oh, they don't have anything. They can go straight into competing and comparing. Oh, well, what kind of house do they have? What kind of car do they drive? You know, I mean, well, what did you see the name of the dishes and flatware that they use? Like, they so invested in what's going on in other people's lives to compete and compare. So it's just saying to you, yeah, that doesn't interest you because it takes you away from creating. It's very toxic for you. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. So yeah, you got new connections coming in, new something, a lot of, like I said, new connections coming in. But you're definitely, now you're enlightened about something that was done behind your back by three energies. You know, almost forcing you into a rebirth, forcing you to become something that you're really not. Something was trying to force you to become something that you are really not. Like by putting you in a very poisonous environment. This is the 4, and you know, using your depression or somebody's feeling like they're depressed, into it's like peer pressure. It's like peer pressure, right? And somebody was looking for somebody to save them. Somebody was looking for somebody to save them, and so, but you found out that you are your own savior. You had to find your own stuff. We don't have the power to do that. So, but these energies, you know, that did something behind your back and did something behind someone else's back, to try to end something, and they thought they was jumping for joy for that. What goes around comes around. It's already started happening. I trust and believe it's already started. It's been started. They just won't see it coming. So yeah, here's a Hierophant card. Yeah. But somebody, it was a message, or somebody was in between some people who were just, like I said, lying in somebody's ear, just telling a bunch of lies to somebody. People were getting messages, you know, that people were being shady to two people, lying about people in people's ears. So yeah, saying that people were smart, you know, had a smart mouth and was using people as pawns. I mean, just doing the absolute most. But Source is saying to you, but the goal was to get people to stop talking to each other. That was the goal, to get people to stop talking to each other. And everybody knows, you know, people who know it's the devil. calling people the devil, you know, some people into devil worship. I mean, just the worst. But Source is saying to you, what you realize at your highest frequency, and again, you don't have to make any negative comments, and you don't have to respond with negativity. That's the Source is trying to tell. That's been the whole thing. You don't have to respond with negativity. If you were baited into something and people switched up on you, Source said, okay, that can be one and done. They bait you into something else, you're like, no thanks. You're good. You're good. Or you could ask questions. You could ask questions. Right? You could absolutely ask questions. So that you don't feel overwhelmed. So when you're dreaming, you can dream bigger instead of feeling like your dreams are now, you know, extinguished. You were so distracted, your dreams now. You're just like, you know what? Just give up. Give up on what the Creator put inside of you, a gift that you can share with the world, right? So again, you got new connections coming your way. So, yeah, so don't worry about, like I said, your 10th house is about career, reputation, your achievements. You know, people see you as competition. They want to hold stuff against you. These type of energies do this to everybody. To everybody. Right? Talk about people behind their back. Yeah, you would think somebody has something better to do. But what goes around comes around. You'll see. But something has brought you to a new level of emotional maturity, right? So 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 9. So yeah, you're moving on from something, and those same energies will talk about you behind your back. I mean, if you're leaving a job, they're gonna talk about you behind your back. You could have been the hardest working person there. Somebody is just learning how to just let some stuff just like you're using your energy for something else. That's what you're learning. You're just learning how to use your energy for something else. Some people are motivated by competing with people. And they're ruthless with it. They're just motivated by that. And so you're using your motivation for something else, right? You're a very compassionate person. You're going to start pouring into you first. Like I said in my other readings, you can't pour from an empty cup. Some people are really just motivated by copying and mirroring compassion. You know, so, yeah. Something is going to feel like home for you. Yeah, so you got a message, you know, coming your way. Instead of the negative messages in your ear from two energies constantly blowtorching somebody in the ear, but something is going to feel very much like home for you. An expansion. Yep. So we got 4 and 7 here. So yeah, something is complete. Something is complete. Something is complete. Yeah, some energies were just determined. They were determined, right? Cold, calculated, determined. But something has brought you and somebody to, like, remember all of this is genderless, just so we're crystal clear. Everything is genderless, right? But somebody was, you know, intent on sacrificing two people, two energies, right? After all the sacrifices that had already been done, right? But Source is saying to you, you're about to feel like you have a whole new lease on life. And yeah, people gonna talk about you behind your back. You can't stop that, but what goes around comes around. So yeah, you got some good news coming across your path. So something new that's being created. Yeah, so the Judgment card, this is generational. So this has been for some of the people that see you as competition. I'm telling y'all, Capricorns, this is how people some people generationally have been, like through many generations. The sooner somebody understands you have an option to get up and walk away from these types of energies and not keep falling for the bait and switch, this the better. The ones that's baiting you into arguments, and then all of a sudden want to, let's go have a drink together, or they motivated by having sex with you after they argue and cause you all kinds of mental confusion. That is just straight up drama, just drama. Yep, look into the stars. Look to the stars. Yep, look to the stars. Yeah, some people were definitely they were. Some of y'all come from these kind of families, though. A lot of people, not just you all, but a lot of people come from those type of families where they just feel like in order for them to survive, who are the ones that always felt like they were left out of something? Who are the ones that always felt like they were left out of something? Right? It's like they have the black sheep of the family. Y'all know the black sheep of the family, which is actually a gift, by the way. But it's like the black sheep of the family. Who could tell the family secrets? So we got to protect what's going on, right? But who could tell it all? Okay, so that's the one that we gotta get out of here, right? So when you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have a fixed star to follow. You finally have a fixed star to follow. Yeah. It happens a lot in family. That's why you hear people say that they were the black sheep of the family, such and such and such and such, and they move on with their life. They just move on with their lives. So alone time. Yeah. So somebody may be remembering some alone time on a beach, because we look like this person at a beach, on a beach under the sun. Somebody could be remembering some alone time where you were able to just be kind of sort of vulnerable, right? Be free, be vulnerable. So that could be a memory, for someone of just kind of getting back to that. That motivates you to kind of sort of get back to that. Let's see. I think that's it. I think that's what. Let me see if there's one more card here. But yeah, when you got people who are just determined to demonize energies, they determined to demonize energies, right? So it's the same. Spiritual cleansing. Yeah. The third eye is open. Yeah. You see what you didn't see before, right? Somebody doesn't want you to move past something, right? So 5 is a midpoint, right? 5 is a midpoint in numerology, right? Somebody doesn't want you to talk about the past. Like don't want you to talk about the past. That midpoint, to move beyond grieving something in the past, mourning, grieving something. Yeah, so source is saying, so like I said, so somebody is just kind of sort of above the judgment, above people demonizing somebody. This right here, the devil card, being chained to a particular belief system somebody couldn't get beyond, couldn't move beyond something, right? that people just kept saying about somebody in your ears, just on both sides. Like literally, that's a form of dark magic, though. When people are bullying you, that is a form of dark magic. Keep saying the same thing over and over and over again, but in a very forceful, aggressive, threatening, kind of way, just being ruthless with things. That's a, and that is why some people, remember this is genderless, so this could be a man or woman. That's why some people just take their swords and they take their power and they just close it out and move on. They take one last look back and just get moving, just moving on. That is what I have for you. Yeah, that's what I have for you. Somebody is, like I said, Capricorns, don't let people give you a nervous breakdown. That's what prayer is for. You're going to go right into prayer up against, this is like spiritual warfare, going right into prayer up against these enemies who are trying to keep you chained to a particular, they're forcing you to be in a particular mindset, right? So Source is saying to you, by demonizing other people, you don't have to do that. You really, really don't. Because the truth is, you don't have an issue with them. But it's saying like they have, whoever these energies are, have an issue with somebody else, right? So, Source is saying to you, don't let it force you to having a nervous breakdown. You can take one last look back and say, okay, Source, let me go ahead and pray and just gently move on to number 7. I really don't care about people talking about me behind my back. That's you, saying that. So, that's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful, and I will see you all in the next video. All right, bye.